Hello everyone and welcome to Moto 2 of round number 4 for week number 2, Cupid's Comet. This is another go-kart track for Go-Kart Series and Infinite, and again finishing out the night. Unfortunate with the film cheese. It sucks that we only got half the races to show, because again there was definitely some highlights in both of those races that we missed out on that I would have liked to have gotten on film. We had some good storylines and stuff like that, good battles, but unfortunate that this game is trash. So, lining up for Moto 2. It's going to be the more interesting one on this one, I think, because, of course, with that Moto 1, goes by that overall finish from the last track, so you know it's usually pretty standard. I think this race could be pretty cheesy and mix things up here for Moto 2. So, we're going to have Solange on the right, Matt on the left, and then Armada and Camby, and then Nuked and Opix, Roman and Real Deal, and Luke in the back, Jared and Detail calling it a night for Moto 2. So 35 more laps around this track. Green flag. Oh! And a rumble chow out of Nuked immediately, I believe. Super tight through the cave. Oh! Luke gets tossed over. That's our winner from last Moto. Going down early could shake things up in Moto 2. And somehow Nuked recovers and gets to third already. 4 wide behind us. Oh, no. One of the drivers, I think Matt, couldn't fit through it. Oh, this is going to suck with the people not racing. I'm going to be going to them over all the time. But what can you do? Nuked already making a move on Armada for second. Trying to get through early. It's Solange in the lead. And Solange has really been struggling with the lag cheese in this game, so want to try to get to the lead early in this Moto for these guys battling right there. Nuked, Armada, and Real Deal, they all want to get to the lead early because, again, Solange has just been struggling. Luke behind us here, trying to get back through the top 5 quickly. Still has an overall to fight for and some drivers that could take it. Remember, Real Deal was second in that last Moto. Roman was third, so they'd be the closest ones to contend for it. I don't know where Roman is at this moment, but Real Deal's in front of us. Solange already getting past. Nuke takes the lead. Armada second. Solange somehow through that whole sequence goes all the way down to third already and has Real Deal looking behind him for fourth. Camby in fifth. We got Luke behind us. Roman is a couple spots back there. Opix behind Luke right now. So yeah, the overall battle. Oh, Matt in the back. That's what it is. Okay. So the overall battle is spicing up at this point. As again, with these Moto 2s, it's usually the way it goes. Very unpredictable. And Nuked had a decent finish in the first Moto, but I don't think good enough for winning the overall. He might be able to contend for second or third, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. He could win it, but I think he's probably going to need a lot of things to go his way because Roman, Real Deal, and Luke still have those podium finishes, and I think he got in the top 5, but on the lower end of it in Moto 1. I have to go back and check quick because I am laser focused at the moment. No, I'm not. But let's see. Yeah, fifth. That's what I thought. Okay. Whoa, more spin out cheese with Roman and Opix. What was that? That was a thing. That's a thing in this game. Yeah, and Roman trying to get by Camby now after the spin out cheese. Might get him right here. Roman on the recovery drive. Not his best race so far. He got off to a really hot start. Matt trying to track these guys down here. But yeah, he got off to a really hot start this season. The sweep at Eagle River, probably a highlight of his career. Lamau. I don't know why I Lamau'd that. I mean, it's probably true, but sweeping the Infinite over opening night with Eagle River, and then he put in another good performance in the second track, got second overall, and left the night with the points lead. Had a good first race, Cadaris Creek, but not as good as his first couple, but it was still a solid run. He still got second overall. So yeah, it was still pretty good there. But this track so far seems to be his worst one at the moment. He seems to be struggling with this one a bit more, and also having some cheese go down as well. Luke getting by Real Deal here, and this is a pretty big pass because this definitely puts Luke in the favored spot, I would say, for the overall, because I believe Luke's in third right now. This is Real Deal fourth. Nuke is definitely in the lead, and I think Armada is way in front of us in second. I don't even know where he is. I'm trying to find him here. This is your leader. That's Matt. Matt just got put a lap down from Nuked, and then that's Armada right there. So yeah, it's a pretty big gap, first to second for Armada, and then there's Luke. So first to second to third, pretty evenly, like, big gaps for all of them. So the podium's very stretched. Most of the battles that'll go down probably in these other spots here. And that's already Nuked coming around again. Again, the lap times on this track are so different. So again, Armada hits it right there. And then he's going... Yeah, so it's about like the same gap from 1 to 2 to 3, which is interesting. So that's fifth. Again, Real Deal fourth. Still close behind Luke. That's Roman fifth right there. And then Camby and Opix. Let's watch Camby and Opix because this looks like the most intense battle that we have on track at the moment. If I could find there we go. But yeah, let's watch this. This seems to be the closest battle that we have right now. But yeah, still a pretty good, you know, that being said, even though this is probably his worst so far, he's still putting in a pretty decent run, and still Infinite's looking pretty good for Roman so far. I think Slaunch is, that's Slaunch over there in the cave. He pulls off at this point too. So I think we only have 8 drivers on the track, which is kind of sad because, you know, the lag cheese, like I said, the lag cheese is part of what makes it interesting, and the race will probably settle out a little bit more, and we're not going to have as much chaos with, you know, with the drivers pulling off, which, you know, could be a good thing and could also be a bad thing for the entertainment wise. You know, okay, so we're getting pretty close to halfway through at this point, and this is Nuke trying to put them a lap down too, or to try to put Camby a lap down. Ooh, too wide. Gonna get the wrong entry on the Rumble, and yeah, unfortunate. So Nuke to get by him. Opix will get away there. Go on board with Roman. See if we can track down Real Deal. Real Deal going really wide the downhill, so Roman gonna gain some time, hitting the horn a little bit, letting Real Deal know that he's coming. And Real Deal's honestly been getting the better of Roman in some of these situations with these one-on-one battles. I think Roman has the speed, but Real Deal's been doing a pretty good job of fighting with him, and he's been evening it up a bit more. I think Roman still got the better of him on Cadarius Creek, but it was definitely a lot closer, definitely a lot harder for Roman to get by him. Again, I'm just going off memory because we can't watch the film. But yeah, I should say that at Cadarius Creek, Roman did a better job. And was able to, you know, get by him in the end, but it was a little bit tougher. But in the first moto of this race, Real Deal was able to clutch up, get that second place. You know, maybe it could be big for his confidence. And right now in this battle, he seems to be holding him off. So, anyways, the point being, I think Roman having a harder time getting by Real Deal than he would in the previous nights. So far in this one, even if he does end up getting by him, it's a little bit more of a struggle. Real Deal's starting to figure out how to get the battle going a little bit better. But Roman definitely still has some speed, and it's going to be hard to hold off. Across the finish line again. Very close, and they've got Matt. Matt's going to blue flag. Oh! Does a pretty good job of blue flagging, and Real Deal got a little haywire in that downhill, but was able to reel it back in. And the fact that they're battling is going to let Luke get really far away, so that's going to be that 4th and 5th. Yeah, you can see he got super far away now, so that's going to be that 4th and 5th place battle. That's Nuked right there, so he still has quite a ways to go before he catches up to lapping them. Looks like he got by Camby and Opix. Looks like Armada getting by oh, well, never mind. He did, and then he didn't. So Luke and Armada, you know, that could still be a battle, 2-3. But it's going to take a little bit of work still. Oh, Matt hitting that 2-wheel, not able to save it. Looked pretty sick. I was hoping he could hold on to that one. That would have been pretty cool, but unfortunately not able to hold on to it at the end. Getting closer and closer here, getting closer to 10 laps to go. And as you can see, this seems to be the battle of the race. Oh, no, what was that? Roman gets a little too close on Real Deal and just gets caught up on him and just has a weird spin out. That looked very weird in theaters, so I wish, you know, I wish everybody had their POVs streamed. I would have loved to have seen what that looked like from both of their screens, honestly, because I'm sure it looked way different on both their screens. But that's one of those where, even from the theater, like, you know when it looks weird in theater that what the hell did it look like on their screen? Like, it must have looked insane on their screen. Because even in theater, that just did not look normal. That just looked like a very weird crash. And Nuke's starting to creep in, so he could get involved and we could get some blue flag or cheese. Oh, Roman. A rare mistake right there, getting the lockup the first turn. They're still going to try to chase him down. It's Opix behind Luke here. Matt behind him. Love the Minecraft lava. Like I said, the colors, they got a mind of their own. So there's that gap. Luke's definitely cut it down a little bit, but still a ways to go. Still going to need some help there, probably. And things could get interesting. Things could get interesting with Nuke catching up to Roman and Real Deal. This could spice things up. We're getting really close. It's going to be going to 5 laps to go this time by as well. And it puts him in a weird spot because it's like if you're Roman, oh, well, that's going to hurt. The lockup's going to hurt. The lag cheese, I don't know. It's hard to tell because he's getting close to him, so it could have been lag cheese too. But, yeah. But Roman's catching back up to Real Deal, so this battle might be on again too. 4 laps to go. Oh, and Roman is trying to find an opening and trying to spin him out there a little bit too. But just can't quite find it. Maybe get the inside here. Oh! Real Deal trying to protect it as hard as he can. They've got the leader coming behind too. Now the second place battle is very close as well. The gap's been worked down. A few laps to go, but this is definitely doable now too. So things just got super spicy. There's them going to the cave. And look at this pack. Matt getting out of the way. Real Deal, Roman, and Nuked. Oh, Roman! Lost it. Oh, no! Double cheese on this lap. Roman loses it right there. He made a big move, and that might cost him. And then Armada hits the pole just slightly here, and that's going to cost him that second place. Although he still has third by a mile. Let's get back on board with Nuke. He's going to be entering the white flag lap soon. And he could still make this interesting with Real Deal and Roman if he tries to make a move on him. White flag. Nuke trying to come to his first Moto win in Infinite. If he could just run a couple more corners clean. And even then, it'd have to take a big cheese at this point because the gap is just massive at this point. There it is. Gonna take his first win on Infinite and pull it over to the side of the podium. Luke's gonna take second. And Armada third. Yeah, he still held on to it. Surprised at how... Yeah, they actually got kind of close, but Real Deal and Roman, Real Deal will hold him off. Let's take a look at that end battle. I'm curious if... I'm curious if that... yeah, it did. It got kind of close again. Kind of want to see how this played out. Yeah, so Nuke pulls off right there. So this is Real Deal and Roman, and look at this. Oh! Wait, this got spicy. Okay, hold on. Yeah, we're watching this. This got spicy. So Nuke pulls off, and Real Deal kind of runs that first corner pretty slow. And Roman, you could tell, just sends it into him. Just sends Real Deal into the rock. Roman is just doing whatever he can at this point to get by him. The gloves are off. And again, just like pushing him and just seeing if he can get the spin out. Even goes for the two-wheel run, but not going to do it. But yeah, that got spicy on the last lap for them there. So yeah, that's going to be our second moto. As more drivers come across. the line. So that's going to be our second moto. Again, it was Newt taking his first moto win in a while in HRL. I think since, unless he got one in DSS, I don't recall. But I think he got one in Go-Kart, funnily enough. Halo 5 Go-Kart in that stage. That might be his last one. So probably around this time, sometime last year. So it's been a minute. I don't think a year, but probably close to a year. Gets another HRL win for him here, moto win on Cupid's Comet. Second will be Luke. Third will be Armada, taking home another podium. Again, got a win earlier in the night. Gets another podium. Solid results for Armada in the night. Real Deal and Roman with the battle of the moto for fourth. And Real Deal ends up holding him off, fourth and fifth. And big that he held him off, too, because that was for overall position there. Can be sixth. Opix seventh. Matt 8th, and Slaunch 9th. So there you go. That's the results. Yeah, pretty cracked track aesthetically. Put a lot of work into this one. Unfortunate that Infinite sucks. But yeah, maybe we can come back to this track when the game works one day, and that'd be pretty cool. So overall results to close it out here. Overall results. So that win did give Nuked quite the boost, but again, that first moto he got 5th wasn't enough. So he ends up, Luke ends up taking the overall win, but it was enough by 1 point for Nuke to take 2nd overall. So Armada finishing in 3rd was big because that mixed things up. If Real Deal, he could have tied up for that 2nd place overall if he got that 3rd place, but no, Nuke ended up getting it by a point. So Luke first overall 32, Nuke second with 29, Real Deal 3rd with 28, Roman 4th with 26, Armada 5th with 24, Opix 6th with 23, Canby 7th 22, Matt 8th with 18, 9th Slaunch with 15, Jared 10th with 8, and Detail, of course, the one moto, taking the other one off as well, 6th there too. All right, so that's it for that, and say it now. That's it for Infinite for now. Yeah, we're not gonna be continuing. I'll come up with more updates in the following week, or in the week rather. But yeah, it's too much. Like, I think people quitting out in that second race, kind of tells the tale, and that happened on the first night as well. But yeah, try to focus on the positive, try to have fun with it, but there's not a whole lot of positive to be had. It is just not good, and it is just not ready. So yeah, the game, I hope that 343 can actually do their job one day. That would be nice. But who knows if that day will ever come. And if it does, we'll be ready for it. And this game definitely has a Forge mode with lots of potential. I mean, look at this. This is just a go-kart track. This is just a go-kart track that I whipped up in 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours maybe of forging. Under time pressure to have it ready for this week, and this is already pretty sweet. Imagine showing this to one of our racers in Halo Reach or Halo 4, 10 years, 11 years ago. Just going back to the past and showing them this, it'd probably blow their mind that this is just a go-kart track. This is just a go-kart track. This is just a 10th of the budget, a go-kart. What the hell? This is a go-kart. Look at this is a fully fledged GP experience on Halo 4, with these aesthetics and the track itself too. But yeah, unfortunate because with this track, and that's honestly part of it, is that. You put lots of effort, you can put lots of time, especially into these infinite tracks. You can put so much time into these with all the options that there are and stuff like that. And then, you put all that time into that just to come to the game, or to the race, and for it to just be, a laggy mess is just really frustrating. It sucks that we don't, it sucks that these tracks, because these tracks are great. I think the first 4 tracks, and there was other tracks in the schedule that I was looking forward to as well, that I'm sad that we're not going to get to. There were some planned tracks that weren't started yet, but that I think were going to be fun. And then, of course, we had Abner Creek was going to be... Why did I say Abner Creek? I got my mind on the creek because of the creek this week. Abner Woods Abner Woods is going to be sweet. And Valachi Speedway, we never got to race in Halo 5. Made a new version of it here in Infinite to race it in Infinite. I was looking forward to that track too. So yeah, unfortunate. Like I said, all the tracks, Eagle River was great. Lansing was pretty great too, honestly. I think Lansing without the lag cheese would have been a pretty fun like arena go-kart. I think Cadaris Creek was really cool. Track had great flow. Would have been really fun without the lag cheese. Same thing for this one. Like this track, obviously very difficult with the lag cheese. These sections would be very tough with it. But without it, I bet this track would be a banger and have some pretty sick flow. So yeah, that's honestly part of it is that, you know, you just put all that time into these tracks for it to not race properly. Just kind of takes the wind out of the sails a little bit. But yeah, so GG's to Infinite for now. Basically, at this point, I'd say, like, just hiatus. Like, if we, you know, if they fix the game and we get to, I don't want this season to end. And maybe even we could give it an extension too, and just make it, you know, instead of like a go-kart miniseries, just like a full-on series, and continue it in the future. Maybe do a reset. maybe do these first races for like a bonus points or like seeding or something. Honestly, with how cheesy it is, but I don't know. We could figure it out. But either way, point is, it's just gonna be on hiatus until there's an update that fixes the game. So season 3. So the plan, like I mentioned in other videos, is to come back to Infinite periodically. Whenever there's an update, I should specify that is supposed to, you know, help servers, help desync, help that side of the game. So if that's not mentioned in an update, we're not going to come to an update that doesn't mention that, obviously. But if an update mentions it and is supposed to help it, we'll come back to Infinite periodically and do, you know, no stakes, just like race nights on this game every once in a while, whenever those updates to come out. So it's not like we're just putting Infinite in the bin. Whenever updates come out, we'll try it. We'll give it a chance. Like, I definitely still want the game to work. Definitely still have plans for the game. And that Season 3 update, March 7th, you know, that's coming very, very soon. Gonna be just like a few weeks away. So in not even a month's time, we'll have another big update. And I would hope that'll touch this part of the game. So I'm sure we could, in March, I'm sure we'll have a test at some point. And yeah, with every like major update that's supposed to address this side of the game, check it out, you know, do a test and see how it works. And then hopefully, eventually, it's playable. But right now it's not, is just the truth of it. And again, it might not look like it, you know, it might not look too bad from the theater perspective, but trust. Theater does not tell the whole story. It's really bad. It's the worst. It's the worst Halo racing experience ever. It's absolutely abysmal. Just from a pure technical standpoint, it is awful. I can't stress it enough. It is not even just racing, just Halo. Just pure Halo experience, technically. It is the worst. Yeah, it feels like gaming in like the 90s. I'm not even actually gaming in the 90s is probably better. Like, it is that bad. It is that bad. So yeah, so we'll figure out things and give info as we come up with it. Gonna have to do some soul searching and figure that stuff out. So it might take a couple days, but you know, we'll fill it in. Until then, still going with Firehog as planned, and we'll figure out, you know, how we're gonna continue and what that's gonna all look like. But yeah, for now, going with Firehog. That's gonna be the series for now, and we'll figure out other things. As soon as we have something to share, I'll share it. But yeah, so GG's to Infinite for now. Saying goodbye to it here on Cupid's Comet. We made it 2 weeks. Honestly, I'm impressed by that. Honestly, I am impressed by that. 2 weeks is pretty good. But yeah, so hopefully we'll come back to this game in the future, and it'll get to live up to its potential. If not, that is really sad. But until now, the hogs are the wave. The hogs are the wave. GG's, and see you guys for our first hog series ever.